Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about how we can talk about our family and how family related vocabulary can be used in an essay. These words are very important, especially because in the first part of your speaking test, that is the introduction, you will most probably say a few words about your family. Moreover, many essays and cue cards also deal with the topic of family. So today we will be discussing only the words which are associated with family. Okay? Let's look at the first word. The word is sibling. So, who are siblings? Siblings are our brothers and sisters. Okay? But which type of brother and sister are we referring to here? The first is that they should be born to your parents. You cannot refer to your cousins. So, they are your real brothers and sisters who share parents with you. Only those people can be called siblings. Here are some examples of how you can use the word sibling in your sentences. The first is, I am an only child, but I wish I had siblings. Over here, I have replaced the word brothers and sisters with siblings. Okay? So here the person is saying that I am an only child, I don't have brothers and sisters, but I wish I had brothers and sisters, so siblings. The next is, my siblings and I get along well. This means that we have a good relationship. My brothers and sisters, my siblings and I have a good relationship. Moving on, how do you write general sentences which are not related to specifically your siblings? You may be talking about any siblings, or you may be giving statements which are facts. For example, in your essays, here are some sentences you can look at. Children who do not have siblings can feel lonely. So the children who do not have brothers and sisters can feel lonely. Older siblings can have a deep impact on the habits of young children. So over here, we are saying that older children can have a lot of impact on the younger children. So we are talking about brothers and sisters here. Now the next word is sibling rivalry. This is a combination of two words in which the word sibling, brothers and sisters, is used. Rivalry means competition, sibling means brother and sisters, so it will mean competition among siblings or competition between brothers and sisters. Okay, so this is how you can use this in a sentence. Sibling rivalry is a commonly observed phenomena. Means the competition amongst brothers and sisters is very commonly observed in families. Alright? Moving on to the next word, we have the word nuclear family. So what is a nuclear family? A nuclear family is a family in which only the parents and their children live. So there will be no grandparents, mostly. There will definitely be no aunts and definitely be no uncles. It is basically two young people with their children. That is what a nuclear family generally amounts to. Since they are very common in our modern society, you might have to write some generalized statements in your essays about it in case it is an essay topic about siblings or about nuclear families. So nuclear families are common in our modern world. This is how you can use it. The next word is spouse. I'm sure you've heard it, but let's start using these in some sentences. So a spouse basically is a husband or a wife. So for the husband, the wife is the spouse, and for the wife, the husband is the spouse, right? So you can use it this way. It is important to trust and support your spouse. So every person should trust and support their husband or their wife. This is how we are going to use the word spouse. Now, let's have a look at some other words. This is another very important word which is very commonly used. This is relatives. We all know who relatives are. Relatives are all our family members. But there are different ways in which we can use it. So relatives can be of many types. We can have close relatives. We can have distant relatives, people who are not close to us or not very closely related to us. However, we share blood with them, so they are distant relatives. The next will be elderly relatives, relatives who are older, or you can talk about young relatives. So you can specifically state with these words which type of relatives you are referring to. You can group your relatives into different categories: close, distant, elderly, and young. Okay? Let me show you some sentences that you can use for these. For example, if I have to talk about my close relatives, I spend a lot of time with my close relatives. Most of us do spend time with close relatives. So here we have used relatives with the word close. Okay? In the next one, I'll show you how to use distant. I only meet my distant relatives at large family gatherings. Such as weddings. So distant relatives are usually met on weddings, funerals, or some large family functions. So I only meet my distant relatives at large family gatherings such as weddings. Okay? Let's look at elderly relatives now. Elderly or young, you can use similar sentences for both of them. It is most important for us to care for our elderly relatives. Nothing wrong with that. We have to care for our relatives who are older, right? So it is most important for us to care for our elderly relatives. So remember, with the word relatives, please try to use some specific words. Okay, so use them in combination so that you can be very specific about who you're talking about. Moving on to the next word. Word number 5. We have got the word fiance, or again fiancé. One with a single E, one with a double E. The single E refers to the male, the double E refers to the female. So when a female has to say that she is engaged to somebody, she calls this person her fiancé with a single E. And when a male has to say that he is engaged to somebody, he says fiancé with a double E. There's a difference in writing, the pronunciation is the same, it's fiancé. Then, who is a fiancé? A person who is engaged. For what? To be married. Engagements can be of many types. They can be business engagements or they can be social engagements. That's why we have to specify that they are engaged to be married. Okay, so that's who a fiancé is. For example, my fiancé is a doctor. Okay, so over here a girl is talking about the boy, my fiancé. This person will be a boy, okay, a male. So my fiancé is a doctor, or I will meet my fiancé today. Over here it means this is a girl, so this might be a male saying it. So this only has a difference in writing. In speaking you will just call them your fiancé. Alright, so please use these words as much as you can while practicing for the IELTS test. This vocabulary will greatly help you in talking more precisely and fluently about your family. And for more IELTS tutorials, please visit www.freeieltsprep.com with hyphens in between. I'll put the link in the video after this. And press the Target IELTS button to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share and comment. Ciao for now. I'll see you next time.